Good morning, dear children. Today we are continuing with the chapter Solutions. In the last class, we were discussing about mixtures, isn't it? So we know that there are two different types of mixtures, that is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. In homogeneous mixture, you know that the components are uniform throughout because it is very difficult to separate those mixtures. But whereas in heterogeneous mixture, you should understand that in heterogeneous mixture, the components are different. Like muddy water. If you take muddy water and you keep it undisturbed for some time, what you can see? You can see that the mud has been settled now and the clear water will be on top, isn't it? Now sand and pulses. Whereas in homogeneous mixture, if you take a sugar solution or a salt solution, it is very difficult to separate them, isn't it? By physical method, it's very difficult to separate them. We are not able to see the particles using our naked eye. So homogeneous mixtures are those mixtures in which the components are uniform throughout. Whereas in heterogeneous mixture, the heterogeneous mixtures are those in which the components are quite different and we are able to separate them.
ഒരു എക്സ്പെരിമെൻ്റ് വീഡിയോ ആയിട്ടാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ വീഡിയോ എല്ലാവരും പൂർണ്ണമായി തന്നെ കാണുക. കണ്ടുകഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ അഭിപ്രായങ്ങളും നിർദ്ദേശങ്ങളും കമൻറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുക. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് പോകാം. ഈ വീഡിയോ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഉപകാരപ്രദമായി.
Now, I hope that all my students have watched the video carefully. In the video, or in the experiment, you can see that we have taken 3 glasses, in which in one glass we have taken sugar solution. In the second one we have added milk to it, and in the third one we have added chalk powder. Okay, we have taken 3 glasses. In one glass I am adding sugar, second one I am adding milk, and in the third one I have added the chalk powder. In both of these glasses I am filling them with water, and I have stirred it very nicely. In the first glass, as you all know, the sugar it completely dissolves in water. Milk also, it dissolves in, it completely gets dissolved in water. Whereas in chalk powder, if you are stirring it and then you are asking it to settle down, or keeping it undisturbed for some time, you can see that the particles will be settling down, isn't it? Particles will be settling down. Now what I have done, I placed a torch. I kept a torch in my hand and I hold a bright torch towards the glasses, each of these glasses. First, we can take the sugar solution. In the sugar solution, what happened is that in the sugar solution, since the sugar has completely dissolved in water, the particles of the sugar, that is the solute particles in the sugar solution, the solute is sugar and the solvent is water. So in the sugar solution, what happened? The particles of sugar are not to be seen. The size of the solute particle is very less. So the path of the light is not able to be seen. We are not able to see the path of the light beam. In the second one, there is milk and water. Milk is completely mixed in water. But compared to the particle size, when we are comparing the particle size, the solute particle of milk is much bigger than the sugar particles which are dissolved in water. So the particles scatter the light beam. Okay, because there are some tiny particles, you can see that you can clearly see the path of the light beam. Whereas in the last one, where we have mixed chalk powder in water, the particle size is much more than in the sugar solution as well as in the milk and water. The particle size is much more bigger. We can clearly see the particles. So what happens when we place a light beam towards this glass? The particles reflect, the particles inside the glass reflect the light completely, and we are not able to see the light beam. So what happens is that the sugar which is dissolved in water completely, the path of the light beam is not to be seen. It is known as the true solution. In the second one, that is milk and water, we are able to see the path of the light beam because the particles inside the glass scatter the light beam. So we are able to see the path. It is known as colloid. In the third one, even though we are able to see the particles much more, particle size is greater than all the two. That is, when we compare to sugar solution and milk and water, the particle size, the solute size is more. So what happens? The light completely gets reflected by the particles and we are not able to see the path of light beam. And the particles are settling down. And these type of particles are known as suspension. Okay, so we have studied about 3 different types. That is true solution, where the path of the light beam cannot be seen. Particle size is very less. It is not we are not able to see them using our naked eye. In the second one, that is milk and water, colloid. Here, the particle size is much more than that of the sugar solution, and they scatter the light beam, and so we are able to see the path of the light beam. Whereas in the last one, that is chalk powder and water, the particles inside the glass reflect the light beam completely and we are not able to see the light beam. So this is known as suspension. We are using some stabilizers which are helping them to improve their shelf life. We are able to store them for a longer time. So it's not good for our health. So thus we come to the end of the chapter solutions. Thank you all of you.